Hello friends, how are you? Welcome back. Today could change your life. Welcome back. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Roosevelt dime coins and uncovering some of the most surprising stories in US coin collecting. Could an ordinary looking dime in your pocket actually be worth a fortune? While most 2005D, 2007P, and 2008P Roosevelt dimes are only worth their face value, certain rare error coins and exceptional collectible examples have sold for impressive prices. In this video, we'll explore the history of the Roosevelt dime, the meaning of the P and D mint marks, rare minting errors that collectors search for, different color shades and unusual appearances, why some dirty or worn coins can still attract attention, the hidden treasures that could be sitting in old coin collections. Our top 3 featured coins: 2005 D Roosevelt dime, 2007 P Roosevelt dime, 2008 P Roosevelt dime. Remember, the biggest values usually come from genuine mint errors, dramatic striking mistakes, or coins in exceptional condition, not simply because they are old or dirty. So before you spend that spare change, take a closer look. You might discover a fascinating piece of American history, or even a valuable collectible hiding in plain sight. Let's get started with coin number 1, the 2005 D Roosevelt dime that everyone calls a $1 million coin. The truth behind the mystery: imagine reaching into your pocket and pulling out an ordinary looking 2005 Roosevelt One Dime with the tiny D mint mark. It looks worn, dusty, and completely unremarkable. Most people would spend it without a second thought. But rumors on the internet and social media have convinced thousands of people that this little coin could secretly be worth millions of dollars. Stories claim it can make someone rich overnight, change a family's future forever, and even become one of the greatest treasure discoveries in modern history. But what is the real story behind this famous coin? Today, we are uncovering the history, mystery, and reality of the 2005 D Roosevelt dime. The Roosevelt dime carries the portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a leader remembered for guiding America through some of its most difficult years. His image has appeared on the dime since 1946, and over the decades billions of these coins have entered circulation. The 2005 D version was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark. It was created for everyday commerce, designed to pass from one hand to another, buying coffee, groceries, and everyday necessities across the United States. Many people hear the words silver coin and immediately believe they have found a fortune. That assumption creates excitement, but the truth is more complicated. A regular 2005 D Roosevelt dime made for circulation is not a silver coin. It was struck using a copper core with a nickel outer layer, giving it the familiar silver colored appearance, even though it contains no precious silver for investment purposes. Despite that fact, the legend surrounding this coin refuses to disappear. Videos with dramatic titles promise unbelievable discoveries and life-changing wealth. Some claim every dirty or old-looking 2005 D dime is worth millions of dollars. Others suggest collectors are secretly searching for them everywhere. Such stories create curiosity, but experienced collectors know that rarity, not age alone, creates extraordinary value. Condition plays a major role in the collecting world. A heavily circulated dime with scratches, stains, corrosion, or worn details is generally worth only its face value. Coins that remain perfectly preserved with brilliant surfaces and razor-sharp details naturally attract greater collector interest. Even then, the difference between a normal coin and an exceptional coin can be enormous. Another important factor is minting errors. Throughout history, accidental mistakes during production have created fascinating collectible coins. Missing details, doubled designs, off-center strikes, clipped planches, or unusual die varieties sometimes become highly desirable because they are genuinely rare. A spectacular and authenticated mint error can attract serious collector attention and much higher prices than an ordinary example. This is where many misunderstandings begin. Some people assume every unusual-looking coin is a rare mint error when in reality it may simply have suffered damage after leaving the mint. Dirt, scratches, chemical exposure, polishing, or machine damage can dramatically change a coin's appearance without adding any collector value whatsoever. Professional authentication is essential before extraordinary claims should be believed. The internet has amplified stories of million-dollar coins because remarkable auction records truly exist in the coin collecting world. Extremely rare historical pieces, famous minting errors, or coins with exceptional rarity have sold for astonishing amounts. Hearing these stories encourages people to believe every unusual coin might be another hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. For the 2005 Roosevelt Dime, however, reality is far less dramatic. The overwhelming majority of these coins remain common because enormous quantities were produced for circulation. Millions upon millions entered commerce, and many still circulate today. Finding one in pocket change is not unusual, making ordinary examples easy to obtain. Some collectors pay premiums for outstanding examples with exceptional strike quality and preservation. Coins professionally graded at extremely high levels can command significantly higher prices than face value. The difference between an average circulated coin and a nearly flawless certified specimen can be remarkable, illustrating how condition influences value in the numismatic marketplace. Rumors often spread that a dirty coin is automatically rare because it appears old or mysterious. Ironically, dirt itself usually adds nothing to collector demand. Cleaning the coin can also reduce its desirability if done improperly. Experienced collectors generally prefer untouched original surfaces rather than aggressively polished or altered. Examples. There is also confusion surrounding silver versions associated with certain special collector products produced by the United States Mint. Those specially manufactured issues are different from the standard circulation strikes carrying the same date. Confusing one variety with another has caused countless exaggerated claims online, leading many people to believe every 2005 dime is secretly a valuable silver rarity. The fascinating part of coin collecting is not merely chasing impossible fortunes but appreciating history preserved in metal. Every Roosevelt dime represents a piece of American monetary history and reflects the technology, economy, and craftsmanship of its era. Even common coins can inspire interest in history, politics, art, and manufacturing techniques. Could a 2005 Roosevelt dime ever sell for an impressive amount? Under extraordinary circumstances involving exceptional preservation, certified rarity, or a dramatic mint error, collector demand can certainly increase value. But such situations are exceptions rather than the rule and should never be assumed simply because a coin looks unusual. If someone believes they possess a remarkable example, the smartest approach is careful examination and professional authentication rather than relying on sensational headlines. Documentation, grading, and expert evaluation determine genuine rarity far more reliably than internet rumors or viral social media videos. Collectors also study tiny details invisible to casual observers. Strike sharpness, die state, luster, contact marks, and microscopic characteristics all influence grading decisions. Two coins with the same date and mint mark may appear identical to beginners while differing dramatically in certified market value after expert inspection. Stories about overnight billionaires capture the imagination because they combine mystery, hope, and surprise. They encourage everyone to inspect forgotten jars of coins, inherited collections, and old drawers filled with change. Sometimes remarkable discoveries really do happen, which keeps the excitement of numismatics alive generation after generation. The 2005 Roosevelt dime therefore stands as an interesting lesson in separating fact from fiction. It is a genuine United States coin with historical significance and collector interest. But ordinary circulated examples are not hidden million-dollar treasures. Real rarity depends on verified characteristics, exceptional condition, and authentic mint errors rather than dramatic online claims. So before spending or discarding any unusual-looking coin, examine it carefully and learn about its history. Knowledge is the greatest treasure in coin collecting. While your 2005 Roosevelt dime is unlikely to transform you into an overnight billionaire, the search itself may introduce you to one of the world's most fascinating hobbies, where history, art, and discovery come together in the palm of your hand. In today's market, a normal circulated 2005 Roosevelt dime is generally worth only its face value of 10 cents. A brilliant uncirculated example may bring a modest collector premium, while a professionally certified top-grade specimen or a genuine major mint error can be worth considerably more. Claims that ordinary dirty 2005 D dimes are automatically worth millions of dollars are not supported by the real collector market. The true excitement comes from finding an authenticated rarity, not from the date alone. Next up, the 2007 Roosevelt Dime mystery. Could this tiny coin hide an incredible fortune? Imagine finding a simple 2007 Roosevelt One Dime in your pocket and discovering that people across the internet are calling it a hidden treasure worth unbelievable amounts of money. It sounds like the beginning of a movie, but stories like these have spread across the world and inspired millions of people to search through old jars, forgotten wallets, and family collections. Some claim that a tiny 10-cent coin could be worth a fortune, while others insist that only a handful of extraordinary examples deserve serious attention. So what is the real story behind the 2007 Roosevelt Dime, and could it truly change someone's life? The Roosevelt Dime has a long and respected place in American history. Introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, it became one of the most recognized coins ever produced by the United States Mint. By 2007, the Philadelphia Mint continued producing enormous numbers of these dimes for everyday circulation, each carrying the small P mint mark. They were designed to be used in daily commerce, passed from one person to another without anyone imagining they might someday become the subject of treasure hunting stories. One of the biggest misunderstandings surrounding this coin involves the word silver. Many people assume that because the coin has a silver color, it must be made from precious silver. In reality, a standard 2007 Roosevelt dime struck for circulation is not a traditional silver coin. It has a copper core with outer layers of nickel, giving it its familiar appearance while containing no significant silver bullion value. Even so, excitement continues to grow whenever unusual coins appear online. Videos and social media posts often use dramatic headlines claiming that ordinary dimes are secretly worth millions of dollars. Such headlines capture attention because everyone dreams of discovering unexpected wealth in something as ordinary as loose change. The truth behind collectible coins is far more fascinating than sensational stories. Genuine rarity comes from factors such as exceptional preservation, unusual minting errors, or highly specialized collector demand. Date alone rarely creates enormous value. Millions of identical coins may exist, making ordinary examples common despite their age. The 2007 Roosevelt dime was produced in very large numbers, meaning most examples found in circulation remain worth their face value of 10 cents. However, collectors always search for coins with extraordinary characteristics. A dramatic off-center strike, missing design elements, doubled features, or another authentic mint error could attract serious interest from specialists. Condition is another powerful influence on value. Coins that escaped circulation and retained their original brilliance often receive stronger attention from collectors than worn examples. Tiny differences invisible to casual observers can dramatically affect grading results and collector demand. Many people believe a dirty coin must automatically be valuable because it appears old or mysterious. In reality, dirt, stains, scratches, and environmental damage usually do not increase market value. In some situations, improper cleaning can even reduce collector interest by permanently altering the coin's original surface. Professional authentication remains one of the most important steps in determining value. Experienced grading experts examine every detail under magnification, looking for originality, strike quality, preservation, and genuine mint-made characteristics. Their evaluation often separates ordinary coins from truly exceptional discoveries. Stories of million-dollar coins continue circulating because remarkable auction records genuinely exist in the world of numismatics. Extremely rare historical pieces, famous minting mistakes, and one-of-a-kind discoveries have achieved astonishing prices. Those real success stories inspire countless rumors that every unusual coin could be another hidden masterpiece. Collectors know that patience and careful research matter more than excitement. Instead of assuming extraordinary value, they compare varieties, study minting techniques, inspect details, and verify authenticity through trusted grading services. Knowledge becomes their greatest advantage. For the 2007 Roosevelt dime, there is no established evidence that an ordinary circulated example is automatically worth millions of dollars. The vast majority remain common circulation coins with normal face value. Nevertheless, certified high-grade specimens or remarkable mint errors may command premiums depending on rarity and collector demand. Another source of confusion comes from special collector editions produced separately from normal circulation coins. These special issues should never be confused with ordinary business strike dimes carrying the same date. Understanding the distinction prevents unrealistic expectations and costly mistakes. Every coin tells a story beyond its monetary value. The Roosevelt dime reflects American history, manufacturing technology, and everyday economic life. It has traveled through stores, banks, restaurants, and families, quietly participating in millions of ordinary transactions while preserving a connection to the nation's past. The dream of discovering hidden treasure keeps coin collecting exciting. It encourages curiosity, historical learning, and careful observation. Sometimes extraordinary finds really do occur, but they are the exception rather than the rule. Most fortunes in numismatics come from genuine rarity verified by experts rather than internet myths. So if you own a 2007 Roosevelt dime, do not rush to believe claims that it is automatically worth millions simply because of its date or appearance. Examine it carefully, preserve it responsibly, and seek professional evaluation if you believe it has an unusual feature or authentic mint error. Today's collector market generally values an ordinary circulated 2007 Roosevelt dime at its face value of 10 cents. Attractive uncirculated examples may carry a modest premium, while genuinely rare certified errors are exceptionally preserved specimens can be worth substantially more depending on rarity and demand. The real treasure lies in verified rarity, not sensational headlines, making knowledge and careful examination the most valuable tools any collector can possess. Next up, the 2008 Roosevelt dime mystery, the tiny coin that started $1 million legend. What if the smallest coin in your pocket was hiding the biggest surprise of your lifetime? Imagine finding a dusty 2008 Roosevelt One Dime with a tiny P mint mark and hearing someone whisper that it could be worth an unbelievable fortune. Your heart starts racing. Could this ordinary-looking 10-cent coin really hold the power to change your future forever? Across the internet, dramatic stories have convinced people that certain Roosevelt dimes are hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. But behind every legend lies an important question. Where does fact end and imagination begin? The Roosevelt dime has represented American history for generations. Introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, it became one of the most widely recognized coins in the United States. Every year, millions of these dimes were produced for everyday use, traveling through banks, grocery stores, restaurants, and countless hands across the nation. The 2008 version continued that tradition, quietly entering circulation with little attention from the public. Years later, however, stories began appearing online suggesting that certain Roosevelt dimes could be worth astonishing amounts of money. Headlines promised overnight riches, unbelievable auction prices, and hidden treasures waiting inside ordinary pocket change. These exciting claims spread rapidly because everyone dreams of discovering extraordinary wealth in the most unexpected place imaginable. One of the biggest misconceptions involves the word silver. The standard 2008 Roosevelt dime made for circulation has a silver-colored appearance. But that does not mean it contains traditional precious silver. It is made with a copper core and nickel outer layers, giving it the familiar metallic shine that many people mistakenly identify as solid silver. That simple misunderstanding has fueled countless rumors. People find a worn or dirty dime and immediately believe they have uncovered a priceless rarity. In reality, dirt, discoloration, or years of circulation rarely create value by themselves. Collector demand depends on genuine rarity, originality, preservation, and documented mint characteristics rather than appearance alone. Coin collecting is filled with incredible stories because authentic rarities truly exist. Throughout history, production mistakes at the mint have created fascinating collectibles that became famous among enthusiasts. Double strikes, off-center designs, clipped planchets, missing elements, and other verified mint errors have attracted remarkable attention and, in certain cases, impressive prices. The excitement surrounding these genuine discoveries inspires millions of collectors to inspect every coin carefully. Every unusual detail raises curiosity. Every tiny difference creates another possibility. Yet experienced numismatists know that unusual does not automatically mean valuable. Damage after leaving the mint can imitate rare errors while carrying little or no collector premium. Condition is equally important. A coin that spent years in circulation naturally develops scratches, worn details, and surface marks. Another example preserved almost perfectly from the day it was struck may appear dramatically different under professional examination. Tiny imperfections invisible to casual observers can significantly influence collector interest and grading results. Professional grading services examine coins under magnification and assign standardized evaluations based on preservation and authenticity. Their expertise helps distinguish genuine rarities from ordinary circulation pieces. Certification also provides confidence to buyers and sellers participating in the collector market. The 2008 Roosevelt Dime itself was produced in extremely large quantities, making normal examples readily available. Because so many exist, the overwhelming majority remain worth only their face value in everyday transactions. Finding one in pocket change is not unusual and should not immediately create expectations of extraordinary wealth. However, the collecting world always leaves room for exceptional discoveries. A spectacular authenticated mint error or an extraordinarily preserved specimen could attract premium interest among collectors. Such examples are rare precisely because they differ significantly from ordinary production coins. Another source of confusion comes from special collector issues that may share the same date but were produced differently from circulation coins. Confusing those pieces with standard business strike dimes often leads to unrealistic expectations and exaggerated stories that spread rapidly across social media. The legend of the $1 million dime continues because remarkable auction records from completely different coins inspire endless speculation. When collectors hear about famous rarities selling for astonishing amounts, imagination quickly fills the gap, encouraging people to believe every old coin might secretly belong in that extraordinary category. Despite the sensational headlines, successful collectors rely on research instead of rumors. They compare varieties, inspect details, verify mint characteristics, study historical production methods, and consult trusted experts before making conclusions about rarity or value. Their greatest investment is knowledge rather than speculation. There is also an important lesson hidden inside every Roosevelt dime. Beyond monetary value, each coin represents history, craftsmanship, and everyday American life. It traveled through communities, witnessed changing generations, and quietly fulfilled its purpose in commerce long before becoming the subject of treasure hunting stories online. If you discover a 2008 Roosevelt dime with something that genuinely appears unusual, preserve it carefully rather than cleaning or polishing it. Original surfaces are often preferred by collectors, while improper cleaning can permanently reduce desirability and erase important characteristics needed for professional evaluation. So, could a 2008 Roosevelt dime make someone rich overnight? Extraordinary authenticated mint errors or exceptional certified examples can indeed become highly collectible. But the standard circulated coin found in everyday change is generally not a hidden $1 million treasure. The date alone does not create rarity, and sensational headlines should never replace careful examination and expert authentication. In today's collector market, an ordinary circulated 2008 Roosevelt dime is generally worth its face value of 10 cents. Attractive uncirculated examples may carry modest collector premiums, while verified major mint errors or exceptionally preserved certified coins can command significantly higher prices. Depending on rarity and demand, the real power of this little coin is not the promise of instant billions, but the reminder that history, mystery, and careful knowledge often prove more valuable than internet legends. See you in the next video.